Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. This video is going to be about Overlord, obviously, and why I like the show. Because I don't think I've ever, specifically said why I like it. I've made multiple videos on the show, but, I really like Ainz as main character. I like when it came out, it was different that the main character was kind of supposedly a villain. Well, normally would be a villain in a show, and he's got, a hot girl. She's one of my favorite females in all of anime. She's simping for him. And spoilers for one of the latest episodes, she has a sister, which her sister's crazy looking. She don't have a face, but her face has been cut off, which is crazy. And she's a lot more nice, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully we learn more about her. Ainz is overpowered, which is fine. Most isekais, the main character is super overpowered, but Ainz seems like he's a little more overpowered than most. The only person in his entire show that ever gave him a challenge was one of his subordinates, and he also took up fighting with swords, which he's a magic person, and he was still destroying people. But that's not a negative. I kind of like it. All his subordinates are interesting, and they're all unique in their own way. Besides, they all share one thing in common, and that's all that they all simp for Ainz. Now, I like his inner dialogue and how his actual voice is different. I think that's unique. The world building isn't the best, but that's not important. I like how he's trying to dominate the world now, though. He's trying to become the ruler of the world, and he is very reasonable as long as you don't cross him. And if you cross Ainz, he will slaughter you without a second thought. But if you listen to him and you do what he says, he wouldn't kill you, which is fair. And he's using he's really interested in what the dwarves used to make, and now he's gonna he wants to use them to make weapons for him, which I think is interesting. It's an interesting plot. And I love Demiurge, I think his name is, the guy who wears the orange suit. I love how his interactions with Ainz are probably my favorite interactions besides Alberto's, because Ainz will say something fucking stupid, and then Demiurge will be like, oh my god, this is the reason why you've done this, and make it so it's an actual smart ass plan, which is amazing. And then I love the Titus, I think is his name, the guy with 4 arms that looks like a bug, but he's got armor on. He's supposedly the dumb one who can only think one way. And then I like the dark elf children. They're awesome. I like their unique dynamic with each other. Then she a vampire girl. I like her now more in season 4 than when she was first introduced, and she was the problem. I feel like they've made her a way more interesting character. They fleshed her out more, in my opinion. It feels like season 4 is the best, in my opinion, season, besides season 1. I feel like they developed the characters more. They're focused on what everyone is interested in, which is Ainz' clique, Ainz' people. I do miss the Butler. The Butler is badass as fuck. He was probably my favorite character for a very long time. Well, second favorite character. Beto was my favorite, but he was very close. He was a badass fucking butler, dude. And he had morals, and he thought for himself. And I thought that was interesting, because these characters seem like they can't think for themselves, obviously, but it seems like they do what Ainz says, and if that there's no change, which is perfectly fine, the whole story seems like he's kind of looking for his friends that couldn't play. They didn't make it to get reincarnated. That seems like what he's looking for now, which is an interesting way to do things. And overall, I can see why it's one of the most popular isekais of all time, because it's different. It was different at the time. It was the first one to do this. You get transported into a video game, from my knowledge. And it does it pretty well. And it can go from serious, real fucking serious, to goofy and kind of funny. And all the characters can kind of do that. And they all want Ainz to be like a murderer and stuff, and he's just not. He doesn't see the point in mass murdering people, but also he can if he wants to. And I love the tone switches. It's an interesting way of doing it. It's very, 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 very interesting. And I know I talked about this earlier, but I really want to know more about Alberto's sister and her character and like their interactions, because Ainz said that she wanted she was a traitor and blah 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 blah. Then why did Ainz keep her around? Is my honest to God question. Doesn't make much sense to me. But to each their own, I guess. And like the butler's a very interesting character. I hope he makes an appearance, because he was gonna, like, if I remember correctly, he was gonna sacrifice himself for that like girl that he saved, and then they like revived her and stuff, and like that wasn't what Ainz wanted, but like Ainz was okay with it. It's like, that's a cool concept. Like, do more like that. That's cool. Now, I haven't read the light novels. I might get around to it at some point, but I know Alberto's not in the light novels, so I don't think the light novels would stand up as well. I don't know. You guys can tell me in the comments section, because I'm very confused. How she's like by far the best character. The scene she's in, she dominates the screen. She is the most like likable character on screen, in my opinion. And now Ainz, I liked him a lot when he was the like Momo, the adventurer guy, and like I liked his partner and how she was like she wanted to kill the humans and stuff. I thought that was interesting. I wish they'd do more stuff like that. They need to. I think they need to like expand on the other. I think they need to expand on like his maid staff and like butlers and all them, but also like the main people are what people are interested in. So as long as they don't go back to like the lizard sex arc, that part was terrible. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty bad. I want them to like capture more kingdoms and like try to like play the experiments. Yes, I think that's an interesting way of doing stuff, but I don't want it at the same time, because I feel like it will hurt the show if it takes away from like the screen time of the main cast. Which, I mean, if you have a good enough main cast that like it draws the attention of everybody, then like I just keep using them. But I'm not the writer, so you know. Now, if I had to, I think it's just an interesting way to make a succubus that's like a virgin, because they're like that's their whole thing, is that they need sex and stuff, and she's a virgin and she's like obsessed with him. I love that like plot twist that they made from like, wasn't she like a bitch? She's supposed to be like a bitch, but then he like made her like in love with him. I think that's a cool concept. I do not like the Guardian that can change forms and stuff. The one that he made, he even called him annoying, and I do agree. That guy's probably the most annoying. All the other ones I really, really like, not gonna lie. And I really, really enjoy their presence on the screen and what they do. But that guy's just boring. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this episode. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.